everyone. My name is Matt Armstrong. I am the academic chair for the transportation programs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through a PowerPoint presentation that I made to show you the different programs that are within the transportation sector and give you a little bit more information and background on each of those individual programs. So if you are interested in attending school and taking one of these courses, this should give you the information you need to make that decision better. And then also kind of there's links as well that are embedded into the presentation that will be available to you. You can click on those links and they'll take you to the NBCC website where you will then be transferred to the specific pages that pertain to the particular programs that you're interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right now and we will get started. So NBCC's transportation programs, as the name kind of implies, they are all related to transportation, the transportation sector. So we're looking at automotive service technician, autobody technician. There's a few different names there as well, but they're all basically the same thing. And then also motorcycle repair. And the other thing that I should mention now too that we'll get into a little bit further is that there's a distinct difference between automotive pre-employment and automotive apprenticeship, but we'll cover both of those. There is two kind of different routes you can take there as a student to obtain a red seal within that trade or become a successful journey person within that trade. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So the transportation programs. So first, I'm going to start off with a little bit about me, who I am. My name, like I had mentioned earlier, is Matt Armstrong. I am a licensed automotive service technician myself. I started in the automotive industry in 2004 as an apprentice. I completed my block release at NBCC at both the Moncton and St. John campuses, so I did all four of my blocks at NBCC. I received my Red Seal endorsement in 2008. A Red Seal endorsement, what that means is that is an interprovincial recognition that you are able and skilled and capable of working within a specific trade in different provinces across the country. If whether you're an automotive service technician like myself, or an electrician, or a carpenter, or a welder, or anything like that, you will receive a Red Seal endorsement that specifies you are licensed to work within Canada as that. You've met a standard. I worked as a technician until 2018, at which point I transferred over to the instructing side of things, and I taught automotive at NBCC, both with pre-employment and apprenticeship, and I taught at a couple different campuses, Moncton, St. John, and Fredericton as well. Earlier, or about September this year, I became academic chair for transportation and trades. Now, what an academic chair is, my job is basically to ensure academic quality of the program. So to make sure the program's running smoothly, running the way that it should, to ensure that the instructors have everything that they need in order to administer the program appropriately, to make sure that the students have everything that they need, and just to make sure that the program runs as smoothly as possible. I've included some contact information from myself down at the bottom. My office, I am based out of the Moncton campus, which is located at 1234 Mountain Road in Moncton. The phone number is a cell phone number that is assigned to me. So if you want to speak with me directly, that would be the number you could call. And then also my email address as well. It's matthew.armstrong@nbcc.ca. So to get into it, this page just sort of represents a quick overview of the courses in the transportation sector. Like I'd mentioned earlier, we're looking at three basic ones: automotive service technician, motorcycle repair, and autobody and collision technician. When you're viewing this PowerPoint, you can sort of read these little areas right here, kind of quickly explaining what each one of them is. Automotive service technicians, and then also what to expect. So what an automotive service technician is found on the left side, and then what to expect is on the right. So if you were to pursue a career in automotive service technician, as an automotive service technician, what would you expect after you're done? Like what would you expect to do while you're pursuing that career, while you're gaining that education and that experience, and then what you would have set in place for you afterwards. Same thing with motorcycle repair and auto body and collision technician. So on the left, you find brief overview of what the trade is, and then on the right you'll find basically what you would expect to get out of that trade. I've also included links to all the NBCC pages that take you right to it. That gives you a little more detail. It's a little broader and gets into the sort of brass tacks of things, all the little individual components of the course, and give you a little more detail on what it is, what to expect. But that's all included right there. So again, that's just a quick overview. We're going to move into the individual trades here now. So starting with automotive service technician, your journey to become a licensed automotive service technician. As I mentioned earlier, there's two paths to become an automotive service technician. You can either go through pre-employment or apprenticeship. Basically, the big difference between the two of them is pre-employment has a 1-year full-time course that you attend. It's a very comprehensive course. There's a lot to it. You learn a lot of the ins and outs of the trade, a lot of different system components and things. And then after the pre-employment program, you will write your level 1 block examiner or level 1 examination. And that after a successful completion of that exam, you would become a level 1 automotive service technician apprentice. So that's how that works. If you go the apprenticeship route, what you end up doing is you find an employer that's willing to work with you and willing to work with Apprenticeship New Brunswick. You are hired, you work, it's basically like you have a full-time job, but it is the hours that you're accumulating, it's the experience that you're accumulating. Those all go towards a certification that allows you to continue on with it. So you're accumulating those hours. After a certain amount of hours, it's the equivalent of about a year of working, you're able to write your level 1 examination just as if you would have went through pre-employment, but instead of being in a classroom and learning in a classroom, doing a lot of testing and things like that, a lot of theory backup, this is more of a real-world approach to it. Two different routes. One isn't necessarily better than the other. The beautiful part of it is it allows some flexibility for the student. So if the student wants to maybe work at the same time and pay bills that they might have, or maybe they have a family, or it just time allowances just doesn't allow them to stop working or not work for an entire year, then maybe apprenticeship is the correct route. But with pre-employment, on the other hand, if you want that really comprehensive, full program that's going to really prepare you to kind of gain traction and get going, then pre-employment is probably the right route for you. Program structure. So no experience necessary. It doesn't matter if you have any prior automotive experience. It doesn't matter if you have any type of technical experience with it. What matters is that you have an interest in it, that you actively want to pursue a career in it. So there's no experience necessary. Industry requirements are met with a comprehensive curriculum. Everything in the curriculum is designed to prepare you as an apprentice to go out the doors into the industry and be the best apprentice that you can be. Programs set up to cover everything you need to be successful. So you're going to start off with safety tools and equipment, hoisting and lifting, all kinds of service information, vehicle service procedures, the real sort of core material of an automotive service technician's education. So how to be safe, how to work safely, how to work with the equipment that you're given, how to, example, hoist a car properly. That's where you start. After you get those subjects behind you, and after you get that sort of foundation laid, then you start moving into more area or component specific, system specific topics within automotive. So steering, suspension, brakes, engines, automotive electrical, wheels and tires, all that type of stuff starts to come in later. But by the end of it, you'll have a very good understanding of multiple systems within the vehicle, how to inspect them, how to service them, how to diagnose them. It's really, like I said, it's a comprehensive curriculum. So wage expectations in New Brunswick, everybody always likes to know how much they to make if they were an automotive service technician in the province of New Brunswick. All this information comes from redseal.ca. I have the link there for all these wage expectations on throughout the multiple trades. You're looking at a low of about $14.50, an average about 20 bucks an hour, and high up to about 26, potentially more depending on the situation. So very competitive wages, not bad at all. Career in the automotive industry offers lots of challenges and rewards. It is a very fluid trade to get into. There's always new technology being injected into the automotive industry. As a technician, it forces you to stay current. It forces you to stay on top of new systems, new approaches that manufacturers might be taking towards automotive design. So it's not like kind of you do it once and you're done. It's a progression throughout your entire career where you have to continuously upgrade, and it's good if that's what you're looking for. If that's what you're looking to be, the number one guy in your trade, then that's the way to do it, to stay on top of the technology and to really advance with it. And the NBCC courses and programs that the school offers, it gives you a really solid foundation to build a successful career on. I can say that firsthand, that as an NBCC graduate, without that experience, I would certainly not be in the position I am now, but my career would have never really started off all those years ago. So I wouldn't have gotten that experience without the programs at NBCC. Motorcycle technician. So motorcycle technicians, like the name kind of implies, they work on motorcycles, but that's not it. They do work on other types of vehicles as well. Scooters, all-terrain vehicles, four-wheelers, snowmobiles, side-by-sides, anything like that, that all kind of falls into that umbrella of motorcycle technician. Also small engine repair, so snow blowers, lawn mowers, anything along those lines, that's kind of encompassed within that. So everything that's kind of smaller, I guess you could say smaller than automotive vehicles or automotive service technician vehicles, so things smaller than cars, you would find that in motorcycle technician. Almost kind of like the same relationship that a truck and transport mechanic would have with an automotive service technician. They kind of handle the bigger stuff. We handle the mid-size stuff. Motorcycle technicians handle the small transportation stuff. You inspect, clean, test, assemble, diagnose, maintain, and repair engines, transmissions, drive systems, steering assemblies, braking systems, chassis, suspension, electrical systems, vehicle management systems, so that would be computer controls, things like that, fuel systems, which could be, in this day and age, either carbureted or fuel injected, and exhaust systems. Again, with the program structure, there's no experience necessary. Industry requirements was a comprehensive curriculum. So this is the same idea as automotive service technician. You have a pretty intense 1-year full-time program that you would take, after which you come out, you have a certification from NBCC saying that you've taken this course, that you're able to work in the industry, you have these qualifications. The Red Seal endorsement, there does exist a Red Seal endorsement for motorcycle technician. It looks a little different than automotive service technician, but it means the same thing. The difference being that there's no apprenticeship blocks that you have to attend for motorcycle technician. It's the equivalent of working for years in the trade. Once you have those required hours accumulated, you can challenge the Red Seal exam. Once you pass the Red Seal exam, then you are a Red Seal endorsed motorcycle technician in the province of New Brunswick. The program is set up to cover everything you need to be successful. Again, just like automotive, but these same rules apply because it's all sort of motorcycle repair, just like automotive repair. Safety tools and equipment, proper shop safety, proper vehicle safety or safety when working on vehicles, things like fluids and the dangers associated with particular fluids or the dangers associated with particular tools, hoists, things like that. That all kind of comes in initially. You complete those courses and then you move on to more comprehensive stuff that is motorcycle or ATV or mobile specific. So specific to motorcycle engines or motorcycle transmissions or motorcycle cooling systems, that type of stuff. Wage expectations in New Brunswick, you're looking at a low of about $15.50, an average of $21 an hour, and a high of $28 an hour. So very competitive wages, very similar to automotive service technician. Again, you can find that information at the redseal.ca website, which I've included the link right here on this slide. And this program is going to give you that really good foundation to build a very, very successful career off of, whether it be working for an established company or maybe you want to open your own repair facility. This is going to be that initial step that's going to allow that dream to materialize. And finally, we're going to talk about Autobody and collision technician. Your journey become a licensed Autobody and collision technician. These are all red seal endorsed trades in the province of New Brunswick. Autobody and collision technicians repair and restore damaged motor vehicles. They assess and make repair estimates. They restore a vehicle's interior components, electronic components, and passenger restraint systems such as seatbelts and airbags, which I can say from experience as being a technician. Seatbelts, airbags, passenger restraint systems, safety systems that are incorporated into vehicles now. It's becoming much more intense, much more comprehensive, much more in-depth. So this trade in particular, Autobody and collision technician, is really only growing in complexity, which, you know, that might not necessarily sound like a good thing, but if your interest lies in technological innovation, new technology that's being incorporated into vehicles like adaptive cruise control or supplemental restraint systems that are much more intensive than they used to be in the past, then this is probably the right trade for you. And then there's also times too where Autobody and collision technicians may perform automotive service technician responsibilities or roles like aligning, replacing suspension and steering components that might have been damaged in a collision or an accident or something like that. So it's not just a matter of replacing fenders and spraying paint on a car. It's really much more comprehensive than that. Again, with Autobody and collision technician, we offer programs in pre-employment and in apprenticeship, but there is no experience necessary. The curriculum is designed to accommodate students that have no experience with this stuff. So if maybe that fear or that underlying anxiety that you've been experiencing about, I don't know anything about this stuff, I might be in school with people that do, I'm here to tell you to just forget about that, toss that from your mind. It doesn't matter if you have experience or don't. You're going to follow through the same program with everybody else. And it really brings students in line with the idea of a curriculum or what the curriculum is trying to do. And it's really well structured that way. Programs set up to cover everything you need to be successful. So you're going to start off just like the other two trades with shop safety, vehicle safety, tools and equipment, that type of stuff. Then you're going to get into more auto body specific topics as you progress through the program. So metals, metallurgy, that plays a big part in auto body and collision technicians. You need to know what metals react, how metals react a certain way, which metals react a certain way, what you can and cannot do with them, what their limitations are. You need to know that type of stuff. Vehicle construction, this again is another very fluid part of the automotive industry. Vehicles are changing all the time, changing for the better, but they're also incorporating a lot more newer technology. They're incorporating a lot more higher end technology, things that we didn't see in vehicles even 10 years ago. Vehicle systems. So as I mentioned before, you have a lot of external vehicle systems, lighting, wipers, any type of accident prevention systems that might be built into the vehicle, any type of lane departure systems that might be built into the vehicle, adaptive cruise control systems, all that type of stuff will fall into the wheelhouse of an auto body and collision technician. They need to understand these things in order to properly perform their job. And then, of course, you wouldn't be an auto body and collision technician without being able to lay paint. So surface preparation, automotive paint, because there's a lot of variances in there as well too, and painting. Personally, I find auto body and collision technician a great course, a great career path for someone who's really, really creative within the whole spectrum of the automotive industry. This would be something that if you liked creating things, if you liked putting your mark on stuff, if you liked being able to step back and look at your work and be really happy with it, be really satisfied with what you've done, then auto body and collision technician is definitely a trade that you should be looking into if that's what you're interested in. And we go down to the wage expectations in New Brunswick. A little different here, but still very good. Low $14 an hour, average about $20 an hour. but a high up to $45 an hour. So you can see there's a little bit more room for advancement as far as wages go. In these NBCC programs, again, they give you that really good, solid foundation to build off of. As I mentioned earlier, we also have apprenticeship as well. Apprenticeship, I kind of explained it earlier, but we'll just go through it again really quick. It's a quality, affordable post-secondary training that leads to a certification as a journey person in a skilled occupation. So just like we had mentioned earlier, you progress through your blocks, you get that experience, you accumulate that working time, you learn from other journey people or licensed technicians that are actually working in the industry. So you're doing the job that you are essentially going to be trained to do at the end of it. So you're learning from on the job. That's the real big takeaway with apprenticeship. You're learning on the job. You're doing the hands-on stuff. And as an apprentice, you receive a salary from the employer who hires you. So you're getting paid. You're able to work at the same time. You're able to pay your bills, pay your car loan, pay your mortgage, your rent, whatever it is. The salary normally increases at each stage of the program successfully completed. So as an apprentice, and this applies to if you took a pre-employment program or if you just took a apprenticeship approach to the career. But as you progress through it, there's usually a raise that comes along with each sort of progression of a block, or a level as they're being called now. So once you complete your level 1 apprentice, then you complete your level 2 block, write your level 2 exam, you pass it. Now you're a level 2 apprentice. Your employer more often than not gives you a raise associated with it. And there's also financial incentives that come through government funding through Apprenticeship New Brunswick. You get $1,000 at the end of a block. You get to draw unemployment while you're in school. You get traveling or living expenses. You get the money back from your textbooks. So it really, as far as taking on a personal financial cost, there's really not a huge one there. And it's just really set up for those people that can't afford to take that 1 year off of life, basically, to attend a pre-employment program. This is for those people that need to continue to work as well. And at the bottom of this page, I've included the link that will take you right to the apprenticeship page on the NBCC website, and you'll find more information there. So is a career in the transportation trade right for you? Well, the only way to know for sure is to ask. You can reach out to instructors at NBCC, or there's recruitment advisors whose jobs are specifically to answer these questions that you might have. So if you are wondering what your day might look like, if you're wondering about any types of weeks that you'll have to attend at specific locations or maybe have time off, this is where you're going to find that information. So you can just click on that link that takes you right to the recruitment advisors page on the NBCC website, and you're going to get a list of potential recruitment advisors you could contact depending on the campus you are interested in. Also on the NBCC page, you'll find any type of information regarding any programs you might be interested in. So campus locations, where is it offered at? What services do the campuses offer while I'm there? Any type of question you have that pertains to stuff like that, you're going to find it on that NBCC webpage. So thank you very much for your attention. I really hope that you will consider taking one of the programs in the transportation sector at NBCC. It gives you a really good, solid base to sort of launch your career off of and build on top of it. And I've seen lots of students over the years come through NBCC, and it's always positive. There's never any type of I didn't get the training I was expecting I was going to get or anything like that. It's always I'm glad I took the course. It really helped me. I would do it again. That's the type of responses I hear from apprentices over the years. But I really hope you look for. I really hope that you are interested in a transportation trade. And if you are interested and you want to learn more, you can reach out to the recruitment advisors. You could reach out to instructors. You could reach out to past students if you wanted to learn more. And then, of course, you can always reach out to me with my contact information that I included in the PowerPoint. So thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to seeing you.